Does your Wi-Fi at home suck? Do you pay for high-speed, fast internet but you're not getting it? Or is the Wi-Fi okay right by your router but rubbish elsewhere in the house, especially when there are lots of devices on your Wi-Fi network all using it at once? Well, in this series of videos, we'll be looking at how you can solve that with a wireless mesh network. Plus, we're giving away a Netgear Orbi whole home Wi-Fi system at the end of the video to one lucky subscriber. So hit that subscribe button, sit back and watch how much better your Wi-Fi can become. So you might have a good internet connection, but if your Wi-Fi isn't up to the job, then your experience will still be bad. The difference is that your internet connection is the actual service which is delivered to your house, either via fibre optic and copper cables or through your traditional telephone line if your package doesn't use fibre. If you plug devices like laptops and desktops straight into your router with a cable, then you'll get pretty much as good as your internet connection can provide. But most of us will use Wi-Fi for at least some of our devices, and many households exclusively use Wi-Fi. In that case, Wi-Fi is the last link in the chain, and just like any chain, the entire chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So if the internet connection that your Wi-Fi router can provide is slow, or the signal is weak and prone to interference, then your connection will be bad, no matter how good the main connection to your house is. A good example is if you have a really fast internet connection and you buy a nice new 4K TV, pay for the 4K streaming package on Netflix, and buy a Google Chromecast that will play 4K, and then wonder why the picture doesn't look great on your TV. Well, if your Wi-Fi is too slow, then it may not be able to support the data it needs in order to stream in 4K, so you might end up being shown the 1080p version or even the 720 version, which is certainly not ideal. So without further ado, I present to you the Netgear Orbi whole home Wi-Fi system. This is a mesh network, which means it has more than one wireless transmitter, and this actual package has 3. The transmitters talk intelligently to each other as they're part of one system, meaning they cleverly choose which one of the units should be beaming Wi-Fi to your devices at any one time. Items that stay in one place, like TVs, thermostats, smart light bulbs, etc., will stay on the same device, obviously, but things you move around, like smartphones, tablets and laptops, will seamlessly hand over to the other unit whenever it will give a stronger signal. Despite having 2, 3 or even more access points around your house, you'll still only see one wireless network name, as the switching is all done behind the scenes for you. That also applies to the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz versions of the network for longer range versus higher speed. That's all taken care of. Plus, if you want to have a guest network, then that will also be available everywhere, not just from your main router. You might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, but I can just buy a cheap and cheerful wireless extender which does the same thing. Well, they don't really do the same thing at all, actually. Quite often they provide a different network name, which means a more complex and frustrating experience, especially if you keep having to tell your devices to switch to the nearest one because they insist on connecting to the other. Even when they do use the same name, it can still interfere and you still have issues with connecting to the wrong one. It's just even harder to solve. The way Wi-Fi extenders connect to the main router is also inferior. They generally use half the available wireless bandwidth for that job, meaning much less to power your devices. Or they work via power line using your home's electrical wiring. Now that does work, but it doesn't maintain the full speed. Netgear Orbi is tri-band. That means that as well as working on 2.4 and 5 GHz as you'd expect, there's a third dedicated 5 GHz channel just for connection between router and satellite, so nothing getting in the way of powering your actual devices at the other end. Plus, it allows you to connect them via proper hardwired network cables too if you want, and that's what I'll be doing, as I already have hardwired gigabit Ethernet connections to the 2 locations where the satellites will be going. This is the best option by far, as there'll be no loss of speed at all. Alright, so let's get this bad boy open and see what you get in the box. As you can see, it has a Fastlane 3 technology. That's their branding name for the fact that it's got a 2.4 GHz network and 2 5 GHz networks, one of which is the dedicated Wi-Fi backhaul back from the main router to the extra units you've got. It also comes with Circle from Disney built in. That's some useful parental controls which we'll be covering in another video. So if you've got kids and you want to make sure that they're not getting up to dodgy stuff online, or you just want to limit the amount of time they can spend online on things like tablets and other things, then you can do that as well. Okay, so let's open up the box. Let's do it on here. Let's take. Now, this set I've got here, it's the RBK53 variant. The 3 on the end being the fact that we've got 3 units, not just 2. The reason for the extra units is because I'm going to be putting one of these in the summer house right at the bottom of my garden as well, to replace the Wi-Fi router that's already in there, doing an okay-ish job of providing Wi-Fi to the garden. Just off the top there. So this one here is the main router, and you can see that it's got the internet port on there. That's that one. Then we have these ones, which are the 2 satellites. So the way this works is, this is your main router, so this replaces your existing wireless router. If it's a modem as well, then you'll put it into modem mode and then connect this in. That's your new router. And then these are the satellites that go elsewhere in your house, covering those areas with Wi-Fi as well. And here we've just got a selection of some nice flat network cables, which are good. Power bricks for each of the device, so they're all identical. So that's the Netgear Orbi, how it works, what it's for, and what you actually get in the box. You can watch the next video in the playlist for the installation, setup and testing to see how well it actually works. And of course, we're running a competition. We're giving away a Netgear Orbi system to one lucky subscriber. There are details in the video description, so go and have a look at that, and good luck. What Wi-Fi issues are you having? What have you done, if anything, to solve them? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. But for now, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Click the logo that's on screen now. And I'll see you in the next video.